What might end up being the largest explosive volcanic eruption of 2026 is actively ongoing, and yet the media has for the most part not given the eruption the attention it deserves. What I am referring to is an ongoing, presumably deep submarine eruption in Papua New Guinea, which is so energetic that its eruption plume, which originated from a depth of 770 meters or 2,526 feet, where atmospheric pressures are extreme, not only reached the surface, but then rose another 14,000 feet above it. And now, this volcano, which had previously been known simply by its location, the central Bismarck Sea, has a brand new and, might I say, badass name, which is actually appropriate. Yes, I am breaking my non-biased script here because in my opinion, everything about this eruption is so cool. I love it. The new preliminary name for this ongoing eruption at these approximate coordinates is the Titan Ridge Volcano. Okay, that's not actually the pronunciation because this is in Papua New Guinea and not the United Kingdom, meaning it is pronounced the Titan Ridge Volcano. This name was chosen after conversations by the local scientists of the Rabaul Volcano Observatory with the people who once inhabited what used to be the closest settlement, which are known as the Tetons. As their oral stories go, their home used to be this now completely submerged circular reef 40 kilometers south-southwest of the currently ongoing eruption. However, long ago, some major natural disaster occurred, causing an island or group of islands that was their home to completely submerge below sea level permanently, making the native people scatter to what is now their modern home on the southern portion of the island of Manus. I absolutely love this justification for a proposed volcano name because not only does it follow the general nomenclature of giving the people closest to it a say in what it should be called, rather than just calling the volcano, I don't know, Fred Mountain, but also the proposed name and its justification sounds straight out of Greek mythology. But back to the specifics of the Titan Ridge volcano's ongoing eruption. While I had previously speculated that this eruption began sometime between May 8th and May 9th, we now know its exact starting time based on recorded low-frequency infrasound. Specifically, 1:15 a.m. local time on May 8th, which means that as of today, the Titan Ridge volcano's eruption is in its 9th day. During that time span, it has produced a truly vast quantity of light-colored floating pumice via what are known as Pumice Rafts, which extend at least up to 210 kilometers away to the west-southwest at the present. These floating pumice rafts could damage ship components, so in my opinion where the pumice rafts are should be completely avoided by ship traffic. I have created this chart to help compare the extent of the pumice rafts to other recent storm submarine eruptions. As you can see, it's seemingly the strongest deep submarine volcanic eruption on the planet since 2012. If not for the fact that the Titan Ridge volcano's eruption were occurring underwater, and if it had hypothetically instead occurred on land, the ongoing eruption would likely have been rated on the 0 to 9 volcanic explosivity index as a lower end 4. However, pumice rafts are not seemingly the only thing that Titan Ridge volcano is actively producing that is floating to the surface. There also appears to be scattered fragments of far hotter material which I speculate are gas-filled lava balloons. As for the vast area of water discoloration seen on satellite, that specifically marks where fine particulates emitted by the eruption are present on the surface, with the coloration largely owing to levels of silicon and iron. However, there is something else a bit more interesting. The eruption now appears to involve not one, but two separate vents spaced 2.5 kilometers apart, suggesting the presence of a magma dike beneath the ocean floor, and maybe even the existence of a fissure that is concentrated around two dominant points. Such a fissure could parallel the southwest trending ridge segments and parallels a close divergent plate boundary. While official communications by local volcanologists at the Rabaul Volcano Observatory did note the theoretical chance for small-scale tsunamis, in my opinion, the chance of that is just barely above zero and thus incredibly unlikely. My interpretation and thus my opinion being that we don't exactly know how much material has been emplaced underwater from the eruption and what it might look like, So if a large chunk of this material were to hypothetically slump off in a landslide, it could generate a small-scale tsunami. Unless that hypothetical, which in my opinion I deem to be highly unlikely at this point, occurs, the current eruption is in my opinion harmless to people living on nearby islands, only really being a potential annoyance if Pumice Rafts come their way. So, don't go into the Pumice Rafts or above or close to the erupting vents, and don't fly into the eruption plume and where that plume is drifted per the volcanic ash advisories. Stay tuned for more updates. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube for supporting my work.